All right, calling to order Public Works Commission, October 30th, 2024. It is 1:35 p.m. Introduction of, I guess we got to do roll call first. I guess announce yourself, where you're at, and if you're alone. I am Noah Wallen, here in my office in Kihei. I saw Derek is on.
Derek Ono, alone in my home office in Wailuku. Thanks.
Thank you, Josh. You are muted.
Can't hear him.
Uh-oh. All right, while he struggles through that, Laureen.
Laureen Canetta, I'm in my home office alone in Kihei.
I don't see Nathan on today. We have Matthew.
Here by myself. I'm in my office at Kihei as well.
Thank you. And our new member, hopefully I can pronounce this right, Devlin on. Are they with us today? I'm not hearing anything there. Okay, so Josh, you able to get off mute?
Nope.
I think we're gonna need your you to be able to talk for a quorum. Well, actually, I don't know if the numbers work there. We still have 5 right now. Can I continue? I'm gonna
Yes.
keep trucking along then. All right. So thank you everyone for coming. Acceptance of meeting minutes from the September 25th meeting. If we could have a motion to administratively accept those minutes.
Motion.
I
Thank you,
motion.
Pat. Second by Laureen. All right, thank you. We have accepted meeting minutes.
Do we have 5 people?
I believe so, myself. Oh, do we not? Did I miscount?
Noah, Derek, Laureen, Matt. Is there not a 5th?
So we're gonna need Josh to get back on to have quorum. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And 5.
Apologies for that. You're still on mute on the app, Josh. I don't know if you can click that button off.
There we go. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in my Kahului office by myself, closing the door.
Do we have to go back and do the minutes again, approval, since he was logged off at that time?
Yes, I suppose so.
Okay, we need
Sorry
that
about that.
motion again to approve administratively the meeting minutes from last meeting. Lorraine, I got a motion there. Matt, second?
Yep.
Is that what I saw? All right, thank you guys. Do we have any testifiers with us today?
Sorry, we got the.
Yes, I am. Oh, am I a testifier for the new agenda item? Oh, not testifier. I'm just here on behalf of the agenda item.
What agenda item? Can you introduce yourself and what agenda item you're?
I apologize. Iris Peilua on behalf of Town Realty of Hawaii. Regarding Kehalani 367.
All right.
And then, sorry to nitpick there. I think on the second motion around, Lorraine made the motion, Matt seconded, but I don't know if we did it at a vote then.
Oh, all in favor to approve the minutes? Apologies. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
So, sorry, Iris, if you have any public testimony you would like to share with us at this time for your agenda item?
I apologize. It's not Kehalani 367. It's the residences at Kehalani. And I don't have any testimony. I'm just here to get our application approved for the street names.
All right, thank you. So we'll move on to new business. Considering we have a testifier here, are we okay with moving forward with that street naming application first? Hearing no objections, let's go jump into that agenda item D2. I will open up the floor to the commission members for discussion at this time. If you have any comments on the application.
I have no comments.
Just curious if the department had any remarks on the application.
Thank you, Chair. Nothing to note. As indicated in our memo, all the street names are available for use for this project. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? I would at this time entertain a motion to recommend approval, denial, or defer action. Considering we don't have our Hawaiian language expert, we may go down the same route of conditional approval after the Hawaiian language expert takes a look, but I will need a motion.
Motion to approve conditionally that the translation is validated.
We have a motion on the floor.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor? That motion? Aye. All right. Thank you, Commission. Back to agenda item 1, the annual boards and commission training, Sunshine Law Code of Ethics and Duties and Responsibilities for the Public Works Commission. Jordan, I think, will you be taking us through that? Or is that, oh, that's my corp counsel. So Selena, please help us out there.
Yes, all right. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. I think that's probably the best way to do it.
I'm going to leave. This is Iris Pelua. I'm going to leave. Thank you, everybody, for approving our street names with the condition.
Thank you, Iris.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, can you folks all see that? See my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we'll start then with the Sunshine Law and Ethics presentation here. Try to get through it fairly quickly for you guys. I know some of you may have seen it before. The general policy and intent of the Sunshine Law is basically to open up the governmental process to public scrutiny and participation by requiring boards to conduct their business as openly as possible. So absent a specific exception that's written into law, board business cannot be discussed between board members outside of a noticed public meeting. So not just public, but also with sufficient notice so the public is aware that the meeting is taking place. The Sunshine Law governs meetings, disseminating documents during meetings, public notice of meetings, minutes, and interactions as well between you board members outside of regularly scheduled meetings. For a meeting to be open, as required by the Sunshine Law, there has to be a place for the public to come in person. And recently, since COVID, interactive conference technology, WebEx, BlueJeans, etc., has now also been authorized. So all interested persons can come, submit data, give arguments. They can also do so in writing on any agenda item. Oral testimony cannot be limited to the start of the meeting, which means that testimony can be given at the start of the meeting, but if someone wants to testify on the actual agenda item, they are allowed to do that as well when the agenda item comes up. And for the for remote technology notice, it must tell the public how to remotely view and testify at the meeting. This is usually in the form of a link to an online platform with the meeting ID and the password. Board members nor the public don't have to be physically present and can instead participate from private locations. However, the board must still provide for the public at least one physical meeting site linked by ICT to the remote meeting. And it must allow audio and visual interaction between board members and members of the public in attendance. Other considerations for these virtual meetings is that quorum is based on all board members participating. So that's whether in person or via online. At the start of the meeting, the chair must announce the members participating via ICT, and those members must state their location as well as the names of anyone in the room with them, except for minors. Votes must be conducted by roll call unless the vote is unanimous. And if the audio-visual connection is lost, the meeting must recess for up to 30 minutes while the board attempts to restore the connection. I'm not sure why that slide isn't showing that last slide, but in any case. Permitted interactions of members outside of regular meetings include discussing matters relating to board business so long as two requirements are met: no commitment for a vote is made or sought, and two members do not make up a quorum of that board. So if a board had 3 people on it, 2 would be a quorum and they could not talk about board items outside of meetings. But in your folks' case, 2 of you would be fine. Again, as long as no commitment for a vote is made or sought. So just in general, avoid talking about commission business outside of a regular meeting. No more than 2 members can discuss board business. No serial communications. What that means could be like, forwarding emails that then include more than 2 members. At social gatherings, just to be safe, avoid discussing board business. Again, those 2 requirements must be met that we talked about before, or it would be a violation of sunshine law. Discussing board business with non-board members, though, generally, sunshine law does not apply, and that is fine. And hang on now, there are some permitted interactions between 2 or more people, but less than a quorum. We call these permitted investigative groups or temporary investigative groups, so PIG or TIG, they go by. The scope of the investigation and the scope of the authority must be defined at a meeting of the board, so a public meeting. All the findings and recommendations that PIG, TIG finds must be presented to the entire board at a meeting, and then deliberation and decision-making can occur at then a subsequent meeting. So it takes a minimum of 3 meetings for the board to take any action on an item investigated by a PIG or TIG. And no discussion of the topic assigned to that PIG or TIG until deliberation and decision-making occurs at that 3rd public board meeting. So you don't have to remember all that. If it ever comes up, I'll certainly tell you all the rules again. But just for your information. This is also for like informational meetings or presentations. 2 or more can go, but still has to be less than a quorum. It can be relating to official board business so long as it's not specifically and exclusively organized for or directed to members of the board. So if another entity is putting on a presentation, there's a legislative hearing, convention, a seminar, community meeting, 2 or more can go. Again, as long as that meeting was not specifically designed for the board, in which case it should be done at a public meeting. So at these public meetings, at these PIGs and TIGs, you can participate in discussions, including amongst yourselves, but it must be during and part of an informational meeting or presentation. Again, no commitments to vote can be made or sought at any point outside of a public meeting. And then at the next duly noticed meeting, the members shall report on their attendance. And again, this is just matters related to official board business. So what constitutes board business? It is defined as specific matters over which a board has supervision, control, jurisdiction, or advisory power that are actually pending before the board or that can be reasonably anticipated to arise before the board in the foreseeable future. So it favors a narrow interpretation. The OIP balances the board's members, constitutional rights of free expression and association versus the public interest in open government. And it's basically limited to discrete proposals or issues that are pending before a board. There are also closed meetings. A few exceptions can be made where board members can meet in a closed meeting where the public cannot see or hear or give testimony. It requires 2/3 of an affirmative vote of the members present to go into a closed meeting. These are also called executive meetings. And some examples of when you can do that is to consider the hire, evaluation, dismissal, or discipline of an officer or employee, where consideration of that matter, affects their privacy. And also to consult with the board's attorney on questions and issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities. Those are the two most common ones that come up. Again, someone would have to make a motion to go into this closed meeting, and then 2/3 of the folks there would have to vote to do so. So meeting notice requirements, they're required for any regular, special, or rescheduled meeting, any meeting at all. Must be in writing and must be made public, posted to the state and county electronic calendars as official notice. Must include the date, time, and place of the meeting, including the ICT information, meeting ID, WebEx link, whatever that may be. And the agenda must list all items to be discussed. This includes executive meetings if anticipated. So the executive or closed meetings that we just discussed, if we know, for example, that there is going to be a consideration of, or evaluation of an employee that affects their privacy, we would then put it on the agenda. Occasionally it does come up, it's not expected, and that's fine. But if it is anticipated, it must be put on the agenda as well. Sunshine law violations mean the decision made by the board can be voided. There could be injunctions by the court. A member could be found guilty of a misdemeanor, and a member could be removed from the committee with the penalties. There's a lot of great resources on this. You can always, of course, ask me during the meeting, afterwards, before, if you have any questions. But the OIP website is great, oip.hawaii.gov. They've got a video training. It's probably better than mine. Probably should have shown you that, but there's little tests as well. There's also a lawyer of the day at the OIP. That's the Office of Information Practices that governs Sunshine Law, where you can just give them a call and ask them a question as well. And their website has all of their opinions and full text of all the official opinions and informal opinions they've ever given. So it's a good resource if you do have any additional questions about the Sunshine Law. I'll stop here now and ask if anyone has any questions for me before we go on to the ethics portion. Okie doke. So yeah, feel free to stop me at any time and I'll ask again at the end of this. So moving on to the ethics portion here. This is governed by Maui County Charter, Article 10. There are prohibitions on what you can do as a board member. So accepting gifts or money is one. Engaging in any business transaction or activity or have a financial interest, that is one. Incompatible with the proper discharge of the commissioner's duties, or impair a commissioner's independence of judgment in the performance of their official duty. Fail to disclose financial interests or vote on a matter affected by such interests is also prohibited. So if a conflict of interest or any other ethical question for that matter is raised by anyone regarding any member of the committee, that affected member should promptly make a full disclosure of the circumstances to the committee. So first step is just disclosing it. Hey, I think I might have a conflict here. If the committee member has a financial interest in any matter that may be affected by an action, that member is just automatically disqualified from participating and voting in all actions relating to such matters. Can be in the meeting and hear all the testimony and whatnot, but when it just comes to voting, just can't vote on that matter. So yeah, as I said before, if there is a conflict, first step is just disclosing it on the record to the rest of the board. An employer-employee relationship is, by definition, a financial interest that must be disclosed, so definitely do that. And if a parent or dependent child has a financial interest, that should be disclosed as well, so it doesn't have to just be you, but someone within your close family. So when in doubt, decide whether to proceed or not. Abstain from voting if you know it's a clear conflict, an employer, for example, or request a deferral and seek an advisory opinion specifically on that specific issue from the Board of Ethics. That takes quite some time, though, just so you folks know. You can always ask me too, and I can give you my opinion. The good thing about getting a official opinion from the Board of Ethics is this last bullet point here. If a member obtains one and acts in accordance with what the Board of Ethics says, the commissioner cannot be held liable for violating the county charter. So basically, once the Board of Ethics says it's okay, and so it's the way to just completely cover yourself. But it does take some time, and especially on a commission like this, I doubt it will come up. But again, please reach out to me, and if I do think that that's what you should do, I'll let you know. So a complaint. So if there are ethical violations that occur, a complaint can be filed by someone. And for failure to follow the charter's ethics, members can be fined or removed from the committee. And that is it on the Sunshine Law and Ethics portion. Do you folks have any questions for me on either of those things? Okay, I can't see all of you, so you just let me speak. Let me know. All right, and now.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay. Now we will do the duties and responsibilities of the Public Works Commission. So this ordinance was enacted in 2013. It created the Public Works Commission. It consolidated various commissions and committees into a single one that included subdivision, engineering standards committee, outdoor lighting, traffic safety, commission on naming streets, parks, and facilities, and board of code appeals. All of these commissions were having a problem that we sometimes have, right? Just getting a quorum. And so consolidating it all into one was an attempt to help that issue. The powers and duties of the commission include traffic safety, naming of streets, parks, and facilities, subdivision engineering standards, and outdoor lighting. And yeah, there's a link. You can find all the ordinances of the code online. So the rules of practice and procedure, again, it's contained in 15133 if you want to read the text of it. So this is, again, one of the duties to serve as the Traffic Safety Council as required by Section 286.6 of Hawaii Revised Statute. The County Traffic or Highway Safety Council shall advise the mayor on matters relating to highway safety. Another duty is, upon request, advise, assist, and make recommendations to the council on matters relating to traffic safety. So the council and the mayor. Also, upon request, make recommendations to the director on requests from the public for maintenance of old government roads. It's also in the county code. And naming of streets, parks, and facilities. So recommending names to the council or the department in accordance with the criteria set forth in this section. The commission may also recommend more than one name as an alternative. And then upon request, also advise and assist any subdivider who desires to name a subdivision in the county. So for the next one, engineering standards and specifications and subdivisions, it's to review proposed modifications, deletions, or additions to existing engineering standards, which are adopted and kept on file by the Department of Water Supply, Department of Environmental Management, and transmit the same with recommendations thereon to the respective department. This also includes review new engineering specifications and standards, transmit recommendations, and review proposed ordinances relating to the standards of roads and related facilities and subdivisions. This another duty and responsibilities, outdoor lighting. So review and advise departments on outdoor lighting matters involving projects within the county, and review and advise the department on requests by persons to add, retrofit, or remove an outdoor lighting fixture on county property or public right-of-way. And those are the duties and responsibilities of Public Works Commission. So let me know if you guys have any questions. And also, we've got our Department of Public Works representative here as well.
All right, thank you, Selena.
Yes, no problem.
Hearing no questions or comments from the commission, are we okay to move on to the next agenda item? All right, the next item is election of officers for the 24-25 term. I'm not sure what to do here, Jordan. How does this process work?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I'll make some opening remarks and then turn it back over to you. So the rules of the Public Works Commissions calls for an annual elections of officers. I don't believe we held an election for the current calendar year. And there was a lot of call it turmoil with the commission as far as being able to have enough members on the committee and people being available for quorum. But in anticipation of the upcoming year, this is one of the tasks of the commission is to set their officers. And so bringing this item for you today for your consideration. Just a couple of things to note. We can't take action today if the committee decides, but I'm not sure with their quorum whether it wants to hold off till more members are present. But just to note, we are currently have 3 vacancies, and we have 2 of our alternates are vacant as well. So we're not going to be having much more members participate future meetings at this point in time. But there are a few absent today. The last election was held back in May of 2023, where the commission elected Noah as chair and Derek as vice chair. One thing to note that I'm just seeing now that is not called out in our rules and is not entirely clear is the term for the year for which the officers will preside. I think in the past, what had happened generally is we would get new commissioners around April, and we would try and hold the elections around that time or soon after once all the new members were in place. That has not been very regular, or we haven't had very regular turnover and refilling of positions on the board. So that's, I guess, less of a critical timing question, just given our challenges with vacancies on the boards. But with that, yeah, so I'll turn it back over to you to chair as far as wanting to entertain motions for nominees for the next term to be officers on the commission, and I guess then to clarify when those terms would begin and end for the next calendar year. So back to you, Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I guess opening it up to the commission, do we want to wait till we have more members or move forward with this business now? Any comments there?
I mean, Noah, can we just nominate you to continue on as the chair? You're doing a great job.
If you guys are okay with me doing it and how things have been going, I'm happy to continue if that's what you guys are okay with. Got a couple thumbs up, so all right.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm not really sure what the process is next. Do we have to make a vote on that?
Yeah. So, Josh, you could just go ahead and make a motion.
Motion to nominate Noah Wallen as the incoming commission chair.
And then do you also want to include a time limit, as Mr. Molina suggested in that motion, like for the year 2005 or 2025 rather.
Okay, for the year 2025.
Motion on the floor. We need a second.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. All in favor? Here we go. All right. Thank you.
I think that's how it happened last time too, Noah.
Yep, that's exactly how it went last time. Keep trucking along. So we need a nomination for vice chair as well.
I think Derek Ono is doing a wonderful job, and I would nominate him for the 2025 vice chair.
Well, I appreciate that, but I've served many terms this board, so I'd like to give others an opportunity.
I'm going to nominate Josh as the vice chair.
I'll second.
All right.
So that was a motion and a second.
Oh, we lost Lorraine. Okay, here we are. All in favor for that motion of Josh for the 2025 term as vice chair. Motion passes. All right. Anything else to do there? We have the term and our officers.
That's all for that item. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Thank you. So meeting schedule for 2024. So our next item. I believe those were shared with us. Is this the tentative schedule for the next term?
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. So for the past couple years now, we've been scheduling the Public Works Commission meetings on the fourth Wednesday. I guess this year, the last Wednesday of the month, at 1:30 p.m. And so, open up to you folks as far as the need to make any adjustments to that time or date to better accommodate your folks' availability. Initially, we had been, or that 1:30 time came about in part because of the Hawaiian language expert, previously member Kava'a, had a conflict, so we had shifted into that 1:30 time slot. So yeah, nothing on the department side as far as needs to consider a time change or not to do a time change. So just wanted to open it to the commission for a discussion, and whether any changes are needed, we can talk through that and proceed accordingly. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, thank you. So I guess my only comment would be does this time work for the new Hawaiian language expert? I think that's kind of important for what we do here. So I'm okay with this time. I don't know if there's any other comments about the meeting schedule. Open it up to you guys.
I'm fine with it.
Agreed.
Yeah, I got no problems.
I guess.
No problem.
Okay. I guess that question's for you, Jordan. Did that new member have any opposition to that?
Not to my awareness, but we'll follow up with her to confirm that she'll be able to participate at these Wednesdays at 1:30.
Okay. So I guess we'll just move along with it at the same time and same place. Do we need a motion for that? Or is this just a discussion point?
I guess this, if you don't mind, Chair, we can formalize that with an action of the board.
Okay. I'm looking for a motion and to continue at Wednesdays, the fourth Wednesdays of the month at 1:30, or last Wednesday of the month at 1:30 in year 2025.
Motion.
I'll second.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Raise your hand. Thumbs up. All right.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. I don't see anything for a agenda setting for next meeting. Next meeting date, November 29th at 1:30 p.m. It is 2:10. Thank you all for your time. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.